Now I'm still waiting for this to dry up a little bit. I'm going to wait another 3 or 4 minutes. It hasn't been very long, okay? So I'm just going to talk to you. Once I put it on there, how long should I leave it down before wiping it off? Here's something really important to realize. You don't want to wipe it off right away. Look at the directions. Make sure you read the directions. I know you might be laughing. Oh, I know how to do it. Just mix it, put it on there, and wipe it off. Well, no. You would be incorrect on that. You want to leave it. It says let it dry up to 15 to 30 minutes. And you're like, okay, what is it? Is it going to be 15 minutes? It's going to be 30 minutes. Well, it depends. How soupy it is when you install it. It depends how far you get. If you're going to be in the sun, if you're going to be in the shade a little bit, if you're going to do one whole little area and then start working somewhere else. If one area is going to be 15, 20 minutes, another area might be 30 minutes. You never know. But I'm going to wait at least 15 minutes before I gingerly start wiping it off with my sponge. And yes, I told you I was just going to use this sponge. They have tile sponges at the store, you know. But like I say, I'm just doing this. I'm just using a kitchen sponge like that. And I like to use the scouring side on this side, because if I wait too long, let's say I wait a little bit too long, I can just use the scouring side and just rub it on there a little bit before I slightly want to wipe it off. You know what I mean? And I look at the tile, the grout, and I see that it's depressed in there. So I want to try to mimic that, and usually it's depressed because when they wipe it off with the sponge, it depresses a little bit, and that's what you want. You don't want it perfectly flat anyways. You see what I mean? It's going to get your natural roll. But you want to try to do it nice and even, because if you don't, you're going to have high spots and low spots. And if you get a low spot, then you get more discoloration than everything around it. See, this area right here is lower than this line. See, this line looks whiter than this line, doesn't it? Well, that's because the sun is over there. When it comes along here, it hits this edge of the tile and it casts a shadow on your line. You could scrub this all day long and wipe it and wipe it and wipe it, and it's still going to be that color because the sun, the shadows coming this way. Okay? But and this is deeper depressed than it is over here. Even though the sun's hitting it here, over here it looks discolored. That's because I can see the tile is up a little bit higher there, and it's been kind of pooched down. Here I can see the grout is pooched way down there. I say way down, it's probably 1/16 of an inch or less there than it is right there. That's why that is slightly discolored, because it's down lower and you're casting shadow from here down into there. Okay, so you just kind of have to be aware of that. And because we're doing a patch, I'll be as careful as I can, trying to mimic it. And hey, if I get it just slightly too low or something, and I think I should have waited a little bit longer, no problem. Put a little bit more on. You know what I mean? Trial and error, and you'll get it done. And see, when I get into the sun, I'll probably close the door. I don't want this to dry up too much more than that, and I'll just kind of have to go back and forth, and you'll get it. It'll be fine, and you'll learn along the way for next time, and I'm sure you'll be able to do it. Okay, I'm going to keep you right about there. You'll be able to see this, okay? And so I'll do at least 2 lines here. It's been at least 5 minutes. This is still about the same consistency. I don't think it's going to get any drier than that, and I probably don't want it any drier than that. I'm right up against the carpet. I could have put some masking tape along that edge if I wanted to, but I'm not. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do this. That's all I'm gonna do. You know, is this the professional way to do it? No, but you're not a professional. And you can do it this way. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay? I'm going to get it right up to that line. And see, I can just go across like I'm doing a drywall seam or something if you want. I mean, I could have used a drywall knife, a 3-inch drywall knife. Let's see. That's all I'm going to do. Making sure it's depressed in there. I can keep it sticking over like that, and that's just how it's going to live. I mean, could I do it in here like this? I can do it however I want. But when you do it with that pad applicator, and you have a lot of tiles, they say to go along at a 45-degree angle as you're putting it on, and then go back the other way. You don't want to just put it straight, because as you do it with an angle, it's better. But see, with this being a patch, does it really matter which way I do it? Probably not. And where the existing seam is, I'll be careful with that and wipe off the with the sponge applicator and stuff. And see, I know this much that I have in this container, it's not going to do the entire thing, is it? Because you get a little excess, and with it being 3/16 of an inch thick to 1/4 inch, maybe even more than that, it takes up your grout. I can see that already. So I'm glad I'm using the 10 pound and not that one little container. Never ceases to amaze me. Sometimes you get whatever you get at the store and you think, oh, that's going to be enough. How many times have you done that on whatever, and you find out later, oh yeah, I should have got some more caulking, I should have got some more paint, I should have got more of this, more of that. And that's just kind of how it works, huh? Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just leave it like that and let it sit there. I'm not gonna wipe it off. I'm not gonna get all gung-ho and thinking I gotta rush this. Hey, I'm just gonna take my time on it. Okay, little by little, I'm gonna get it done. And that's how you gotta look at things. Geez, I don't care who you are. I have a feeling you can do this exact same thing that I'm doing. Yeah, let's see. I got enough here for maybe this tile, and maybe that's about it. Maybe that's just about it. We'll see. We'll see, right? Get it all. Don't skimp. Get it on there. Go over it a few times. Make sure you got it all in there. Okay. See, look at that. All of that I had in there, initially I actually thought I might have enough for the whole thing. And so, had I mixed up that one container, no, I wouldn't have. And then, had I gotten 2 containers of that, and if you can get the same color, something close, why pay the same amount for 2 little containers when you could have 8 more pounds for free? Because you never know when you're going to need that, you know? Now, I've seen some guys on little patches like this think they can wipe it off right now, and then be real careful. Yeah, if I was in a big old huge rush, I could do it and wipe this and be real careful. This is going to actually dig down further in the joint, you see, if you don't wait for it to dry. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna get this all the way, but I'm going to take it outside. I'm going to kind of scrape it out a little bit, get ready for my next batch. In fact, I could start mixing up right now, couldn't I? If I want, and that's what I'll probably end up doing. Okay. All right. So I can see. I mean, I haven't been off it very long, and I can already start telling. This is already starting to dry. More so than that. It doesn't really take that long, but I'm gonna have to keep my eye on the clock. Okay, now something like this, I could mix up another batch, right? And I could look at my clock, 11:35, let's say, knowing that in 15 minutes, 11:50, I should check these first 4 tiles. And during that time, I would have enough time to mix up my next batch and let it sit for a while and get ready to do that section, okay? Then, after I get that in, or right after I mix this and let it sit for a little bit, look at my clock, I could let that sit in the container, couldn't I? And then I could come over here and start messing around, wiping off the excess of these 4, and then work on that. And once I get that to a good point, then I can start working over there. So it's not like I'm wasting any time waiting for this section to dry while I'm finishing that section. You see what I mean? So I always like to think of stuff. How can I do certain patches, or how can I do certain things without watching the grass grow, watching paint dry, sitting there twiddling my thumbs? There's always something you can do while the first section is drying. You know, whatever it is, okay? Whatever kind of project you're doing, all right? So see, I've got 4 tiles done. I got another 1, 2, 3, 4, and the little section up by the door threshold I can mess with. And I could mess with the door threshold right now if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to mix up my next little batch here while this is drying. Okay? All right. Stick with me. And the more you watch, the more you learn. That's just how it works. Remember?